Hey YouTube, just making this video for anybody who's trying to install rear remotes on a Kubota. In this case, mine's a B2650 tractor, like a 2019 model year, 2650. And the key is that this has got a tractor that has a backhoe installed and has a third function kit installed. So the name of the kit that I'm putting on is a B7309C, and it says it's for B20 series, B50 series, and B3200 series that have a BH77 Backhoe and a B7302 third function valve. Okay, so it's pretty specific, but you know, there are a fair number of folks out here that have this configuration, I'm sure. Okay, so again, it's a 2650 with the B77 backhoe. There are some different parts of this kit that will let you do it with the other backhoes that are made for this tractor, but what I'm going to tell you guys is about specifically the BH77. Okay, so first and foremost, I didn't think the instructions online or the instructions were very good here, so I want to make this video help anybody out who got stuck just like I did. So this is the valve here that's assembled. So I have the three kit. You can get this in 1, 2, or 3. Quick note: the kit comes with one valve. My dealer didn't know that, so they had me buy all 3 valves. They're about 350 bucks a piece, right? So I ended up buying an extra valve I didn't need. Now I'm not all that upset because these are float valves, and the one that comes with it is just a normal, like, extend, retract, close center valve that doesn't have a float on it, and I wanted the float anyway. So not upset, but just a heads up to anybody who's buying this, it does come with one. And if you're happy with just a regular 3-position close center, you got it, right? It'll be there already when you open up the box. Okay, so second thing is, this is the pressure, this is the tank, and this is the power beyond. And power beyond here takes pressure that comes into it and allows full pressure to go through it and actually go out and go into the 3-point. And we'll talk about that in a second. Okay, that's how the 3-point gets pressure when you have this hooked up. So a couple things that were not in the instructions. One is that coming off of here, there's a little swivel elbow you put in. That wasn't in the instructions. It was kind of maybe pictured a little bit, but I didn't pick up on that first. Same thing for the tank, okay? And then here, this big thing I thought was missing was that it was really unclear that the power beyond here had to have this quick connect or quick coupler in it, right? So this is actually going to be part of what you unplug and kind of rejigger when you're going to put the backhoe on. Okay, so this has got to be able to disconnect. And mine was actually missing this. My kit didn't have this. I think it's a number 6 NTP male to male here. And so that was missing, drove me crazy. couldn't figure it all out, right? Finally went back to the Kubota dealer and they took care of me. They gave me this for free and really appreciate that. All right, so let's go through, we'll just talk through the hoses real quick. So the first is going to be your pressure hose, okay? So if anybody has this backhoe already, they're familiar. They got this pressure hose here. This is where you plug your backhoe in when you hook it up to the tractor, right? And so this is where you're going to plug in your pressure for the rear remotes, okay? Then that'll come up. I haven't really done my routing yet, but that comes up and that plugs in to your pressure here, okay? Then you got your valves here. I don't have the handles on yet, but I'll get those on. And then, so here's your tank, right? So going back to tank, so you're unpressurized, kind of your, not waste, but like your already used fluid, right? That's going to come back here, and it's going to connect in to this port on your distribution body here. And so the deal is, before you put this in, there's this flexible rubber hose, because this isn't really under very much pressure. There's this flexible rubber hose that's coming back from the rest of the system to go back to the tank. You've got to pull that hose off, okay? And when you pull it off, back in here, you're gonna have this kind of thing. It's gonna have an O-ring on one side, flat bottom O-ring over here, and a barb on it, okay? And so you take off that screw clamp here, right? Pull it off, and then you just take this off with the socket wrench, okay? That'll come off. Then you replace it with this piece from your kit, right? So this is gonna be in your kit. It's got the same flat face O-ring on the back side, and then it's got the pipe thread here. I'm not sure the exact name, sorry guys. The key here, if you were to thread this thing in and then you try to put this T-fitting on here, right? There's no way to get purchase on that nut. I mean, I was looking all over the place. You'd have to take half the tractor apart, it seems like. So what I ended up doing, I don't know if it's the right way or not, but what I ended up doing was I took this whole thing off, including this piece. This is another one, right? They're actually two in your kit for some reason. So I took this off, included, and I just tried to figure it out. Like, what would the angle have to be, right? And there was a little, like, made in China mark on one side and a little, like, I don't know, a little brand mark over here. And I found it was the made in China side, was like right there. And so I kind of lined it all up and I went back over to the bench and I got this whole thing real tight. And then I came over here and I threaded it in. There's just enough room all the way around it. And then I took a wrench on the flats here and just tweaked it into place. And then I was able to hook up the tank line here, boop, and get that tight, and then hook up this barb. So this is a barb that's in your kit, and that goes into the inside of that rubber hose. You gotta paint to put it on, but you can do it. Get that on, and then you put your band clamp back on, and then you can put that on. And so that's how you hook up the tank. And again, it took a little bit of figuring it out, but I think it worked pretty well, okay? So, so that's your tank coming back in. So tank comes into this T-fitting, and you gotta put this guy on, and so your other tank from other things on the system is coming back here, and it'll all go back to the tank there, okay? Then the last one here is the Power Beyond. So again, this Power Beyond is gonna send hydraulic fluid over to your 3-point hitch, right? So it's allowing essentially a full bypass to go out here, so it's not getting slowed down in any of these valves, right? So it's Power Beyond just going out. So Power Beyond comes over here. This is your 78-inch hose, okay? These two are your 50-inch hoses, your pressure and your tank, or your 50-inch hoses. The Power Beyond is your 78-inch hose, okay? And that's gonna come over here, okay? And it's gonna plug in to this port here. And you have to take off the old line, okay? So the old line that you know, if you had this tractor, you remember there was a loop kind of that went up here, it would snug in behind this, and it would plug into this when you weren't using the backhoe, or you'd pull it out and you'd connect it up to the backhoe and things like that. Well, so that's this line here. You have to take it off, and that's pretty clear in the instructions, okay? You pull it off here, and you actually take the male quick connect off of that end, right? You save that, you reuse it on that 78-inch hose. And then over here, you can see this is like a banjo, right? So you take this off. So you take this whole thing off. You got to work with the mounting bolts in there, and in fact, you got to loosen the mounting bolt. Take out the mounting bolts on this pipe here. You know, you'll figure it out, right? Just to get it, you don't have to take the pipe off, but you just take, there's like a mounting bolt here, a mounting bolt there. You pull it off, and then you can move it in, and you get the other bolt off. Okay, but so this guy comes down here, right? This Power Beyond comes over here, and he comes into this banjo. Now, there's two banjos in your kit. There's going to be a banjo in the main parts thing, and there's going to be another one that they sold you separately. You got to use the one they sold you separately. It's thinner. It's like it shorter, I should say. Okay. And if you're not sure which is which, just look at them. The shorter of the two, it should match the one that you took off from its height. Okay, the height should match. So you'll put it in here. It's got two copper washers, one on the top, one on the bottom. Just make sure you got those. Torque it down real good, and then you take that 78-inch hose and you just screw it to that banjo. Okay. So you're gonna have the 78-inch hose Power Beyond is gonna come out here. It's gonna go through. This is the swivel thing. This is the swivel they sold you in your kit. This piece might be missing in your kit. It was missing in mine. Goes to the female quick connect. Goes to the male quick connect. This is the male quick connect. Actually, in your kit, the other one. You end up with two of them. There's one you take off of this one. There's one you take off of here, and there's one that's in your kit. Doesn't matter, they're the same. And then this 78-inch hose goes, okay? So I think that's about it. I guess one last thing is when you wanna go hook up your backhoe, okay? Then you would take this guy off, right? And he plugs into the backhoe, okay? And then you take this guy off here, and we'll talk about him in a second. You just got to get him out of the way, right? Because he's just, you see this over here, this guy here is just your pressure, right? And in fact, I think you could probably just plug it back into itself, right? You can't do it one-handed, but maybe you can do it. And then your backhoe plugs into that just like it always does. Okay, so I hope that helps everybody, anybody who's stuck on this. If you have any questions, just post them in the comments. I should get notified. I'll be happy to answer any questions if I can. This is a lot of fun. I mean, if anybody's like mechanically inclined and has variety of wrenches, you can get this job done. But great tractor. I'm really excited to have the third function, the rear remotes. Looking to put a top and tilt on this thing and get to grading the road and plowing snow and everything like that. So, all right, YouTube, thank you very much. Like I said, post any comments if you have any questions. Bye, guys.